Hey guys, D.Bowie here, and this is how pros outplay you, featuring Cr1t, Zai, EGM, and Kuroky. In this Cr1t game, he is playing roaming Monkey King, and it's not rare to see Monkey Kings going for early levels of Jingle Mastery. And while the skill is indeed very powerful, unless you have a ton of disable in all lanes, you're better off getting Orb of Venom, 3 Dams, and your Fissure early on. You most likely won't have enough time to get 4 procs of the skill, and until that point, this is just one wasted skill point. In this gank, we can see how the slow from 3 Dams combined with Orb of Venom and your Q guarantee the Cr1t Legion. They get another Cr1t Legion a little bit after, and in this clip, you can even argue that they have enough disable time that Jingle Master is decent. He gets it at his 3rd skill point though, but it doesn't change the fact that in the mid lane or off lane, he won't have that amount of control, making his skill build the best possible one to this game, at least in my opinion. Since it's nighttime, pay attention where he can stand without Legion see him. He's also pretty sure there's no ward because of the last kill. I also like the fact he saved his Boundless Strike for the end. He doesn't have a lot of mana to spam, and even though starting with it early procs Orb of Venom, with Legion trying to trade against Throw, he gets the space to initiate by walking and they get another one. Also, Legion could use press the attack and disengage before he was able to apply another Orb of Venom, so at least he's saving mana in case she does that. This clip seems pretty easy, yet hides ton of mechanics and nuance about Monkey King that people often forget. I did talk about it in one of my Monkey King videos. When you're not moving in the trees, it's like you're in the high ground, and the only way they can get vision of you is flying vision or wards that are above your location. But when you walk from one tree to another one, it's like you're walking in the ground, and because of that, you can't just jump from any tree and hope that no one notices you. Look at the trees he's using. If for instance he went for that tree right there, he would travel through a path without trees, and even though it's nighttime, maybe Lash could get a glimpse of vision. So now he's pretty sure Lash doesn't think he's here. He clicks on Lash's inventory and knows that they have the same move speed, meaning that with any slow, they are Gucci to chase him. He telegraphs the stun, and again we see him using Boundless Strike late into the fight. Hopefully he wants to get 4 stacks before using it, but as a roaming Monkey King, you're not going to have that luxury most of the time. This clip showcases that same concept again. Monkey King gets in the lane, but Pudge gets Disruptor too soon. Even though apparently Radiant doesn't know about him being there, he makes the correct play regardless. He goes towards a pretty hidden area of trees, and now, even if they did have a glimpse of vision, they don't know he is in the trees. He goes towards them through a closed path of trees, guaranteeing no vision of him is given. With a pretty good jump and Fissure, they secure the kill. It doesn't even end here, he probably gave Ty the call to Ravage, so instead of getting less hits with the rest of the passive attacks he got, he manages to get another kill with them, even with Boundless Strike on cooldown. Amazing use of Monkey King's skill set. In this game, Kuroky struggled a lot in the early game. He pretty much rotated every lane, yet wasn't able to get any impact until this clip right here. Watch it first. This clip goes back in time actually. He was looking for a sentry ward around that area when Void shows up, and you can see that Kuroky understands that he can't trade against a level 7 Void with Chrono, it's fruitless, so he just keeps luring and teasing Void. As Void goes towards the mid lane, pay attention how he clicks on his inventory and spots the TP scroll. As Ember approaches, the worst possibility would be using Fissure. He would block his own path, Void would just time walk over the Fissure, and that would accomplish nothing. Instead, he just uses the damage from one enchant totem, and while this is not a video about Void, this is a clear use of the downtime of Time Walk. Void was very greedy with that jump. But way more importantly than Void's mistake is Ember understanding it's his time to go in, and Kuro not committing a Fissure. That in itself baits a Chrono, but even more importantly, instead of panicking, he waits until Void uses another Time Walk, and that will probably take a decent amount of time since he was playing so greedy, and they get one important kill while also baiting a long time cooldown. Crispy play from our German boy. This clip here shows how you can perfectly set up to punish people pushing towers alone. After the kill on Void, Kuroky sees Weaver there, and if he just TP'd aggressively, yes, he will defend the tower, and that's great, but that's also 70 seconds of him not being able to counter gank. When you go for a TP like this, ideally you want to get a kill as well. Kuroky understands that and keeps waiting for Rubik and Magnus to approach that location through the fog. If Earthshaker TPs in vision, there is a decent chance that Weaver will leave. So all they need is Rubik to use Lift, and with RP, Fissure, and the stun from Ancient Totem, they have the kill in the bag. At least resist until Magnus completely ruins it with one shockwave. Earthshaker has a fair share of problems when played as a support. You either get great rotations and fissure blocks early on and that snowballs your levels a little bit, or you become a walking fissure for the rest of the game. In the second nighttime, Cr1t knows he's underleveled and underfarmed. He gets level 5 at 10 minutes, and pretty much any enemy hero in the enemy team can either be a setup for a kill or straight up kill him alone. Knowing that, you always want to tag along with friends of yours. Since he maintained that position for so long, and since he never dared to show up mid to get one last hit, something I'm very sure a lot of people would go for, he's able to counter-initiate a 2-man gank from Dire, and he easily grabs a level 6. You need to understand that CM and Pudge are two supports that will rarely be farming at nighttime 10 minutes into the game. So instead of looking for kills, since he's so weak right now, he just maintained the safest position possible close to a core, completely changing the outcome of that fight. Also, since he was not farming, Dire had no idea where he was, making the enemy play greedier for them, and they paid the price. This EGM game is full of good decisions. They go for an early ward in the lane to spot someone coming in to ward or contest the room, and for the longest time I really didn't understand why EGM guessed that ward. No one shows up, nothing happens. How did he know? Well, I guess that's exactly why he knew. They have an SF in the enemy team, which definitely means this is safe lane Meepo, which also definitely means there's not a tri-lane bottom. So where are the Radiant heroes? There should be 2 heroes being aggressive top, and indeed, they were there, EGM was just too late. That spot is a fairly common warding place, and he gets the ward. But since Radiant had the ward planted first, they have the advantage of pretty much knowing where the Dire observed ward was, so that's 1 for 1. Right after that, EGM does one play that a lot of supports forget to do when they are against very weak offlaners or dual offlanes against Cr1t. Cr1t's just love to hide in that area and be annoying as hell. Even though it seems like I am praising EGM, what I want to show is how Fog and Cr1t can be deadly. As Dire focuses Nyx and feels like they can get him, pay attention where Cr1t goes in to cast Illuminate. That allows him a full duration cast on both of them. It doesn't stop there. He's able to do it again, since Sven is focused in trying to kill Nyx. With the vision granted by the Illuminate, Cr1t finishes EGM, brilliantly executed, crispy play. That was actually Jarek's playing, I was watching the stream through his perspective. One thing I want to talk about is how EGM abused the fog to cast ult time and time again, killing enemies by surprise. In this clip, look where EGM is until everyone from Radiant reaches tower range. As soon as that's about to happen, he sneaks into that beautiful area between 2 trees. If he was there since the beginning, they would have vision of him. Since he is able to hide in that spot, they buy time for the Tusk TP, while no one from Radiant suspects anything. The fact that Nyx is hitting the tower pretty much guarantees this is a great fight for them, since they have no vision of anyone, and that's great. We can see another example of this a few minutes before. Monkey King and EGM were waiting to initiate on Cr1t and Ogre, and there is really nothing special about this clip with the exception of him being hidden there, and the fact they both wait the creep wave to end before initiating. If you pay attention, they were trying to steal less hits from one another, and they use the fact that they get closer to each other as the creep wave shrinks. This just increases the chances that they will both be affected by fatal bonds and they get a crispy double kill. This is a great bait play, the type of play that we rarely do consciously, yet makes tons of sense. Look at the context. Meepo is dead, they know Nyx is around, his team is there with high ground advantage and observer ward superiority. He has magic wand charges, raindrops, so he intentionally goes to the river so that maybe Nyx doesn't have the time to scout everyone that is in the high ground. Nyx instantly goes on EGM, but that's no problem at all. He soaks a lot of damage, pops ulti, heal, and wand, completely baiting Nyx in. If Nyx had more time to assess the situation, there's a great chance he wouldn't go for that. Especially with Meepo dead. Since EGM was very fast, shows up abruptly in front of him, no time to think, easy kill. The most basic aspect of playing Tusk is Ice Shards. If used correctly, the time the enemy spends trying to deviate from it surpasses the stun from low level Snowball by a huge margin. Usually the best spots to use the skill are these stairs, and we can see Zai making use of one here. Since Earth Spirit can't roll in Boulder, he is forced to go all the way around, and look at Zai's clicking patterns. He's not preoccupied in hitting Earth Spirit, he just wants to block the roll, so that his team can focus him. He ends up tanking too much damage and perishes. Even though he died, I feel like he played amazingly well, besides the fact he took too long to disengage. This is another showing of how strong Ice Shards is. Very low on mana, fairly easy to land, and look how much damage he deals on Earth Spirit in comparison to what he took. Since ES has to go all around it, Zai can keep right clicking for a long period of time. Did I mention by any chance how strong shards are? Earth Spirit initiates feeling confident he can run away with Surge, Zai blocks another choke point beautifully, and since Lion was very smart, he waits until the last second to cast his stun. They get an easy kill. If this is not an outplay, I don't really know what it is. The clip is fairly long, so get ready. Zai TPs in the bottom tier 2 to punish Centaur, since if he TPs in the tier 1, maybe he will try to disengage. The only thing Zai needs is range to cast Snowball, so he can lock on him. He also blocks Centaur with Ice Shards, giving way more DPS for Enigma with Midnight Pulse. But Centaur manages to deny himself fairly decently. The clip gets crazy now though. Tusk steals the bounty rune and Earth Spirit shows up. With a decent kick to the high ground, Zai tries a play that almost works. He wanted to go down the stairs with Snowball, but since Earth Spirit went into his direction, he ends up going back to where he was. As he runs away, pay attention how much time he waits until he pops Magic Stick. He was not afraid of taking any damage besides right clicks, because he clicked on Earth Spirit before and he was level 2. To initiate, he used Rolling Boulder and one kick to send him to the high ground, meaning no magic damage for a while. He easily dodges the roll, finds a haste, gets the other bounty, nice use of Shrine, and he even attempted to go in front of the roll. Crispy play. Another fairly long clip that showcases tons of great plays. Even though Zai is level 5, he keeps making these rotations work for some reason. He snowballs on Darkseer while Luna is committing. He goes behind Darkseer to block him and only commits Ice Shards when he's under Surge. Even with all that move speed, the quote-unquote disable from Shards buys enough time for them to kill Darkseer. Centaur TPs in, and look how Zai keeps baiting and dragging him instead of committing his spells. What he wants is guaranteeing a kill with an unexpected Walrus Punch, but he is still level 5. He only commits shards to separate Centaur and Luna, pretty cool to be honest, but Earth Spirit surprises them and Zai probably thought Centaur was going to commit stun first. In this case, he could completely nullify the skill. Since Double Edge is a targeted skill though, even if he casted Snowball before Centaur committed his skill, there's a good chance he would hit the skill on Luna later. But even then, he's able to buy a lot of time for Luna. He zones Earth Spirit with another shards, and since Centaur had to commit another Double Edge to get the kill, Zai gets a kill for his team. As Earth Spirit rolls away when Lion comes, I love that he holds on his magic point charges until he has skills ready to cast, because it gives him the opportunity to heal more mana and HP without risking anything. Most of the time, when players use the item, they just remember they had it mid-team fight, instead of using it in an optimized way. He even disengages using Snowball, but unfortunately, Zai is very unlucky when he does stuff like that. Well, this wraps up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please guys give it a thumbs up. If you want to see the extended version of this video, please check the link in the description. Guys, just another reminder, I will be casting Team Spirit versus Team Effect, playing for the Well Play Invitational, and I will give an Arcana of your choice if you're watching it. And you're also subscribed to my YouTube, Twitter and Twitch. If you want to support and give me feedback, or you just want an easy Arcana, tune up to it. Pugna is a platform where you can learn from people like Chessie, Fogged, Monib, and get better at the game. They have great content on 702, and if you want to raise your MMR, this is a great opportunity. Figure out the patch faster than your friends and get easy wins.